seem to have some kind of bites on all over the itch.
Have you been like bitten by midges here?
What's a midgie?
Okay, like a little mosquito. I don't. What do you call them in America? Little fly.
You can barely see them.
The gnats, yeah.
We call them no-see-ums in America.
No-see-ums.
No-see-ums.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Alright. Like with Underoath, I would say that kind of like a band within your genre, which is like almost completely different. Well, that's the way I see it, at least. Like, so your influences, and your self-confessed influences, would be stuff like, I don't know, Radiohead and stuff like that, stuff that you listen to.
Sure.
Like, how does that translate to the music which you do, which is clearly a far cry from that?
It is a far cry, but if you really pay attention, you hear a lot of like that weird stuff in there. We Underoath's a heavy band, but we wanted to have like inflections of other things, you know. So I don't know. I mean, we just go about doing things a little differently, I think. And you know, we don't write a part because it's people will dance in the pit if we write that part. We write a part because like that it feels good. It feels heavier.
Yeah, yeah. I totally get that sense.
There must be some heavy metal bands that you've been influenced by.
Not heavy metal. There's heavy bands that we are heavily influenced by. Botch, ISIS, At the Drive-In, The Refused. You know, those are the bands that we can all agree on as far as heavy influences. You know.
Who might you be listening to at the moment? Like any bands that are hot?
I listen to a lot of country music.
Yeah. Is that like?
I always have.
Yeah.
Listening to
Definitely not heavy on this.
Like Ryan Adams and stuff. I like a lot. I'm listening to the new Dierks Bentley record a lot lately. The new Spoon record. You heard that? Transference. Like Spoon?
I've seen that album. I get recommended to me.
Spoon. The new Spoon record's really good. I've been listening to the new Nick Jonas record.
Okay. Please don't. Can we cut that out?
The new John Mayer record. I like everything. I don't really like rap music.
Yeah, definitely. Rap music.
I don't really like rap music. I like some rap music. I like hip hop, like real hip hop.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't listen to a lot of rap music, like Money Hoes and Chicks and stuff.
How does Spencer keep his voice? Like,
he never has any problem. He never has. No one does. It's an anomaly.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
It's not like from first to last, the guy there.
No, Spencer's never had any surgery. He's never. It's a freaking anomaly. No one knows why he's able to do what he's able to do. It's a mystery of the world.
That's cool.
We just leave him alone.
And Tim's beard appears to have been cut a bit.
Yeah, he's
been trim.
He has had a few trims. We've been home since December 20th. We got home, so we've been home for the last 2.5 months writing a new record. So he's got a baby and stuff, so trims up, cleans up for his family.
It's like, have you seen that episode of Family Guy?
Yeah.
Peter
The birds in it, yeah.
Did you make a few jokes about that with him?
No.
No. There's not an awkward silence if that episode came on TV and they were watching.
We'd all laugh. There's no awkward silences in our band. Everyone laughs at each other and at each other's expense. That's what we do.
And I know, to end, this is probably the laziest question ever asked in an interview, but which question have you always wanted to be asked? Do you ever wake up in the morning and think, no, actually, I'd quite like to talk about this today?
That's a hard question. You'd be surprised how hard it is. Yeah. I've been asked pretty much everything there is to be asked in the last 10 years, so I don't think so. I don't mind doing interviews. I don't mind answering all the same questions over and over again.
So you don't read the news and think, oh, I want to talk about my views on climate change, or
I don't really watch the news.
Or George Bush.
I don't really watch the news because the news is just scaremongering.
Yeah.
It's like the George Orwell book, dude, 1984. Just made to scare people. The other day I was in Australia with my other band and I was asleep one morning at 8 a.m. In Adelaide, which is like the south coast of Australia. And I was asleep and my phone is ringing off the hook. I'm like, what? And I answer the phone and it's my wife. And she is bloody losing her mind because she thought that there was a tsunami coming towards me.
Okay.
Because there was a hurricane, there was a earthquake in Chile. And there were tsunami warnings for Hawaii and Australia, but I was on the south coast of Australia and tsunami never happened. There was like 6-foot waves in Hawaii, which there always is. And the news blew it out of proportion and freaked everyone's family out. And we were all getting emails from our wives and loved ones, you know, are you dead? And we're like, it's not even raining here. It's not even, there's nothing. You know what I mean? And yeah, I don't like the news for that reason. But I don't know, I question, I don't really have one. Sorry.
What advice have you got for anyone who wants to follow in Underoath's footsteps and do your kind of thing?
It's a hard ride, man. You know, success or not. You know, I mean, and we've been very blessed and had success. It's just, it's a rough ride. You know, you gotta be really. Being in a band is like being in a marriage. You know, especially when you start touring together and traveling together. There's all these moments where you hate each other, and then there's moments where you love each other, and then there's moments where it's just normal. You know, and you have to be selfless. You can't be selfish and be in a band, not a rock band, but any band together. You can't be selfish because, you know, we've been in fights and everything else, and it happens all the time. You just have to. It's a job. It's work. You know, like keeping it together, keeping it strong is work. So my advice would be to just be honest with each other, open with each other, and play music because you mean it, not because it's cool to wear tight pants or be a scene kid.
What advice would you give for a young Christian who's trying to get into the heavy metal industry? Or
be honest, man. Be honest about your faith. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with God. Be honest with other people. You know, I think the biggest problem with Christianity, especially in the music industry, is just the facade of putting yourself on a pedestal and pretending like you're not someone else. And we're just like everybody else. We just have grace. You know.
Cheers. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, man.
Have a good one.
Hopefully no one's been waiting outside the toilet for ages.
There's another toilet just. Oh no!